very important feature of DeFi that's completely underappreciated, and it's not very visible at first. And this was actually the main reason why we started the whole project, is that DeFi keeps track where your tokens are when you use farming and staking and all kinds of like dApps. So that's still a huge problem on most wallets and most in most ecosystems, and DeFi solves that. So you start using DeFi, you start swapping, everything is fine. But once you start farming, and like once your funds go into a smart contract and are held there for a while, they basically disappear in your wallet. That's not what happens generally in DeFi, and that's a killer feature, and it's not it's not super visible, but it makes keeping track of your funds much easier. Each time I use like Ethereum, this is like a major problem, that I keep losing all my funds, because like I have them on an Arbitrum, or and then you have to switch, and then you have to search them, and you forget about some funds. So that's a real problem, and DeFi generally keeps them listed even though the funds are in a smart contract. But it's usually smart contracts where they can only go in, stay in there, and only go out, do your account. So they technically, there's no third party or trusted party in between. So we keep track of them in DeFi.
That's a really good point you made, because actually I've experienced a similar thing where, I'm participating in a farm and the wallet doesn't recognize it. So basically, as soon as you deposit the tokens, it just assumes that you've sent those tokens off. They're no longer yours. And then a month later, you're like, oh, what farm was that? Like which one was that? Especially if you dabble in other ecosystems and a bunch of different applications. I've had to get into the habit of writing down where I'm actually putting my things because of that. So that actually is a really great and probably very underappreciated tool that DeFi has, because not being able to track the tokens that you've deposited into various smart contracts can pose a problem in the future.
Right. I don't want to know how many how much funds get lost just by people forgetting about them.
I've done that before.
And I have definitely found funds again that like I didn't know they still existed, just by like randomly looking around. And the other secondary effect of it is that unless you're like full time, into sort of token speculation and trading, very often for a lot of users, they just would not do the trade, because the overhead of keeping track and writing down everything really impedes on you actually doing certain trades and swaps. I think there's definitely this like secondary effect that like, the easier it is to keep track of things, the more people use the tools.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I've definitely lost and found crypto before. In fact, I found a bunch of VeChain tokens once before they made the switch from VEN, the ERC20 token, to a VET. So I found these tokens. Well, technically, they had already done the switch to VET. So I was like, oh, am I too late? But I was actually able to, maybe like a year and a half later, still exchange my VEN tokens for VET tokens. I was kind of blown away by that. I was like, I thought I missed the window. I couldn't believe I lost it. Couldn't believe I found him again too. But you just watched a clip from episode 71 of The Next Block. If you enjoyed this clip, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We have a great lineup of guests coming on for the rest of the year, including Mark Yusko of Morgan Creek Capital, Stacey Warden, the CEO of the Algorand Foundation, Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital, Eleanor Tourette, a journalist at Fox Business, as well as a bunch of fantastic guests that you're certainly not going to want to miss. And of course, check out the video description down below for ways to support the channel. On that note, thanks for watching, and we hope to catch you in the next video. Thanks.